Blue White Weekly, a weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Domino's, the world leader in pizza delivery. Optum Healthcare, they get you back to you. International Diamond Center, better selection and value guaranteed. Ford and your neighborhood Ford dealers, the best rise to the top in a smart and fuel-efficient Ford. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back, Eagle Nation, into another edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Colin Lacey alongside Danny Waugh. A big win for Georgia Southern football to improve to 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play with a 48-13 victory over the South Alabama Jaguars. And a great night to be an Eagle on a Saturday night, Danny.
It was a beautiful Saturday in Statesboro, homecoming game for Georgia Southern, and now the Eagles are 4-0 at Paulson Stadium.
A lot of action around campus this past weekend in the other sports as well, and we dive into those highlights now.
We begin with men's soccer, who took on the Owls of Florida Atlantic this past Tuesday, and the Eagles were aggressive right out of the gate. Multiple shots in the early going. Then in the 21st minute, freshman Adam Davey connects for his 5th goal of the year off the assist from Samuel Meyer, putting the Eagles on the board first. Minutes later, corner kick for the Eagles, Alder Cortez finds Javier Carbonell, who bodies it in for a 2-0 Georgia Southern lead. Final 15 minutes in the second half, Yoku Blankson boots it downfield, finds Edward Raji, who finds Javier Carbonell for his 2nd goal of the game, 12th goal of the season, and puts Carbonell 2nd in the nation in goals scored. Georgia Southern volleyball had a tough challenge on Friday night as they took on Texas State, who was also undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play, heading into the match. The Eagles were down late in set 1, but rallied back as they finished with a 7-1 run to take the first set 25-23. Texas State's defense was key in the match, recording 14 total blocks as Madison Daigle and Cheyenne Husky denied Carly Turner up front to win set 3 25-21. Backs against the wall, the Eagles fought to even the match, but the Bobcats finished the 4th set on a 9-3 run to take the set and the match 3-1. Putting that game behind them, the Eagles attempted to bounce back on Sunday afternoon against UT Arlington. Every set in this match saw multiple ties and lead changes, with the Mavericks taking set 1 25-21 off the kill by Zanelle Gethers. Evening the match at 1 apiece for Georgia Southern was Lauren Riekert. She gets the kill, and the Eagles win 25-23. On to set 4, the Mavericks keep their hopes alive with back-to-back kills from freshman Brooke Townsend to give them the set 25-22. That momentum carried into set 5 with a 15-9 set win, and the UT Arlington Mavericks defeat Georgia Southern 3-2. Women's soccer played 2 Sun Belt Conference games this past weekend, starting with the Troy Trojans, and Britt Elmore puts Troy on the board first in the 13th minute. Natalie Malio takes a long shot from 18 yards, but Jocelyn Springer elevates up to make the save, keeping the game at 1-0. But moments later, Springer plays up on the Trojan attack, and Kendra Cashin breaks past and takes advantage of the open net. Troy had another scoring opportunity before the half ended, but Springer is able to make the save. Second half, 60th minute of play, sophomore Brogan Boudreau connects off the free kick. However, Troy hangs on for the win, 2-1. Sunday, the Eagles face Texas State, who was undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play, and Kaylee Davis scores in the opening minutes to put the Bobcats on the board. Moments after, Kayla Guerin increases the Bobcat lead to 2 off the assist from Kaylee Davis and Mackenzie Smith. Davis, already with a goal and an assist in the game, adds another goal to her day, connecting on a shot inside the 18, and Texas State takes a 3-0 lead. Bobcats get the win and remain undefeated in the Sun Belt. Another tough weekend for women's soccer and volleyball, Colin, but they both have 2 more home games this upcoming weekend before they go on the road.
You'll catch those highlights next week on Blue White Weekly, but on the other side of the break, we dive deeper into the 48-13 victory for Georgia Southern football over the Jaguars of South Alabama.
There are so many fast and easy ways to make your home more energy efficient. Find tools and resources to help you save money and energy at georgiapower.com/save.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, Our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
You have a new job now, right?
I do. It's a busy place.
Whenever you're ready.
It happens every time.
I've got it.
And every time,
Always do this.
she wins.
It's on me.
All right.
But you have the BB&T app with
Who are you
Zelle
texting?
Oh, no one. I really should go back.
and
you.
can pay the bill before she even leaves the restaurant.
Beth!
Ah, the taste of victory. BB&T. All we see is you.
There are so many fast and easy ways to make your home more energy efficient. Find tools and resources to help you save money and energy at georgiapower.com/save.
Blue White Weekly, a weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Optum Healthcare. They get you back to you. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back into another edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. A 48-13 victory for Georgia Southern football to improve to 4-1 overall, 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play before they hit the road, Danny.
Yeah, well, a beautiful game for Georgia Southern. Last week, Chad Lunsford said the Arkansas State game was a statement game. This week, it was an edge game for Georgia Southern, looking to keep their edge in the Sun Belt Conference.
We take a look back at the 48-13 victory for Georgia Southern over the Jags of South Alabama. Again, it was Georgia Southern and South Alabama for 2018 homecoming at Allen E. Paulson Stadium. We started off with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Evan Orth completes a pass over to Kawan Baker, but Sean Freeman comes in, forces the fumble, and Lane Ecton able to pounce on it, and it's Georgia Southern football early in the first quarter. After that drive would stall for Georgia Southern, South Alabama back with the football as Evan Orth would be intercepted by Monquavian Brinson, able to tap the ball to himself, and a 30-yard return as Georgia Southern would start on the South Alabama 5-yard line. 4.5 to go in the first quarter on the ensuing drive as Shy Wertz would take it in from 1 yard out and give Georgia Southern a 7-0 lead. On to the second quarter after last week's 6 sacks by the Georgia Southern defense. Here's another one as Randy Wade Jr. and Raymond Johnson III combined for the sack of Evan Orth for a 4-yard loss. The next drive for Georgia Southern as Shy Wertz would hook up with Darion Anderson from 58 yards out. First touchdown of the career for Darion Anderson gives Georgia Southern a 14-0 lead. After a long drive by South Alabama stalls on the Georgia Southern 23-yard line, Gavin Patterson would put it through the uprights for 40 yards out and get South Alabama on the board at 14-3. Later on in the second quarter, Tyler Bass would answer Gavin Patterson's field goal with one of his own, this one from 31 yards out, and give Georgia Southern the lead at 17-3. Time winding down in the second quarter in the first half. Evan Orth looking for Jamarius Way across the middle, but Monquavian Brinson knocks it out of the air as South Alabama would have to settle for a field goal as they go into the locker room, down 17-6. First drive of the third quarter for Georgia Southern as Wesley Fields would take it in from 27 yards out for his first touchdown of the afternoon, and 10:31 to go in the third quarter. It would be a 24-6 lead for Georgia Southern. Next drive for South Alabama. Down to a fourth down stand as Evan Orth looking across the middle for Malik Stanley, but Sean Freeman supermans his way and knocks it out of the air and turnover on downs for Georgia Southern. They get the ball back at the 39-yard line. The next play for Georgia Southern on the offensive side, Monteo Garrett, who had a career night, 91 yards on the afternoon. Here comes 25 of them down to the South Alabama 36-yard line. The next play, two big plays for Georgia Southern as Shai Wertz would take it for 35 yards down to the South Alabama 1-yard line, where he'd be knocked out of bounds by Malcolm Buggs. After Shai gets Georgia Southern down to the 1, the drive would stall, but Tyler Bass would put it through the uprights again for a 20-yard field goal. It would make the lead 27-6 in favor of Georgia Southern. First play of the fourth quarter, as South Alabama would give it off to Deontay Moore. He would be stopped 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage as C.J. Wright would force the fumble. Tamarcio Reese able to jump on it at the 39-yard line for South Alabama. It would set up good field position for Georgia Southern. The next play, Shai Wertz would rush for 21 yards to get Georgia Southern down to the South Alabama 15-yard line. Again, Georgia Southern continuing with the drive, and Shai Wertz again, this time from 4 yards out for the Georgia Southern score, with just under 11:45 to go in the fourth quarter. After a scoring drive by South Alabama, Georgia Southern sets up on the South Alabama 25-yard line, and Wesley Fields would take it in for the final 25 and his second score of the night, and increases the Georgia Southern lead at 41-13. Just over a minute to go in the fourth quarter, South Alabama trying for a little redemption, but Cephas Johnson would have his pass intercepted by Alvin Ward Jr. and returns at 28 yards for the pick six. The final nail in the coffin is 48-13. Georgia Southern gets the victory over South Alabama. On the other side of the break, we'll take a look inside Coach's Corner as we sit down with softball coach Kim Dean.
What is a choir? A choir is a part of life. It's when you buy a car, a new home, or a fun family vacation. You acquire the things that make living better, like a great education, a beautiful wedding for your daughter, or even a piano for the grandchildren. We are the Q and Acquire, Queensboro, and we're in the business of lending for the joys of living. So when you're ready to acquire, call Q, Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
It's time to pack your bags because Savannah Hilton Head International offers nonstop flights to a variety of major cities, including Nashville, Chicago, Toronto, Canada, Philadelphia, and many more. 8 airlines, 26 nonstop destinations. Savannah Hilton Head International. Visit flysav.com.
Domino's delivery drivers are experts at handling bad roads. But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country. Then carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
Okay, look, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. That's why this is the view for every other full-size pickup. And this year, it's deja vu all over again. Because only the Ford F-150 with its high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body gives you best-in-class torque, best-in-class payload, and you got it, baby, best-in-class towing. Still leading the pack. This is the big dog. This is the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
Blue White Weekly, a weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by International Diamond Center, better selection and value guaranteed. Presented by Ford and your Georgia neighborhood Ford dealers. Ford, go further.
Welcome back into another edition of Coach's Corner here on Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics, presented by Ford and your Georgia neighborhood Ford dealers. As we step into Georgia Southern softball, visiting with head coach Kim Dean. And Coach, a lot of excitement around this program and a lot of changes to Eagle Field this year.
Absolutely. We're truly excited. We just got on our field late last week. We have completely new outfield with irrigation. They redid our entire infield. We have a brand new press box, and our scoreboard is coming together nicely.
You had an interesting experience and a great experience for the players, yourself, and everybody around the program. Georgia Southern Athletics and Georgia Southern Softball teaming up with Team Impact and signing Nevaeh Williams to a contract. Take us through how that process happened.
It was an incredible experience, and it's actually going to last for the next 2 years. But Glenn Hart actually had a huge part in that. He came to us last year asking if we'd be interested in him and looking into it, and we said without a doubt we would love to be a part of it. He, like I said, did the work and kind of did the background stuff for us, and then this year came to us and said it's a go. And our team couldn't have been more excited. And last weekend, we were fortunate enough to be able to sign her to our roster.
Now, for those that didn't get to see the press conference or the video put out by Georgia Southern Athletics, Nevaeh Williams battling a rare stomach cancer. Take us through her story and why it hits home for you and this team so much.
Well, she's out of Guyton, so she's very close to home to begin with, and she's a huge softball enthusiast. So, you know, it was a really unique situation in that they found her cancer actually evacuating from a hurricane. Her parents thought maybe she just had an upset stomach from the stress and the traveling and whatnot. And when it didn't go away and it continued to persist, they brought her to the doctor, and that's where they figured out the diagnosis. And, you know, Nevaeh's mom was literally in labor as her daughter was getting chemo. And their story is one that is worth hearing, worth following. Her family is amazing, and she is without a doubt the most amazing young lady I've ever met.
Georgia Southern Softball starts their fall schedule this past weekend. We've got 4 more games coming up in the fall. Take us through the excitement of actually getting on the field and seeing somebody else in the dugout.
It's going to be exciting just to be on the field. These girls have been practicing really hard. Like I said, we just got on our field last week, so we've been kind of working with intramurals. We've been working with the city of Statesboro trying to find different fields. But, you know, they're excited to get out here and showcase their talent, see their parents, and hopefully we'll have a few students here that they get to get excited again for our season coming up in the spring. But we do have quite a new bunch of kids, so being able to see if what we've been working on and the things we've been doing on and off the field translate well against an opponent.
Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck this year.
Thank you so much. Go Eagles.
Once again, that's head softball coach Kim Dean. When we return on the other side of the break, we'll dive deeper into Georgia Southern Athletics.
There are so many fast and easy ways to make your home more energy efficient. Find tools and resources to help you save money and energy at georgiapower.com/save.
Wow, look at Jim go. Man, that guy works hard. Courtside seats.
Multitasking isn't for the faint of heart.
I'm in.
It takes experience, skill.
Hey babe, do you have my credit card? I can't find it.
Nope, I haven't seen it.
I'll keep looking.
And a bank that helps you take care of business from anywhere.
You know, we could use more guys like Jim around here.
BB&T. All we see is you.
It's time to pack your bags because Savannah Hilton Head International offers nonstop flights to a variety of major cities, including Nashville, Chicago, Toronto, Canada, Philadelphia, and many more. 8 airlines, 26 nonstop destinations. Savannah Hilton Head International. Visit flysav.com.
Domino's delivery drivers are experts at handling bad roads. But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country. Then carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
There are so many fast and easy ways to make your home more energy efficient. Find tools and resources to help you save money and energy at georgiapower.com/save.
Blue White Weekly, a weekly look inside Georgia Southern Athletics. Presented by Domino's, the world leader in pizza delivery.
Welcome back into Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern Athletics. As we saw with head coach Kim Dean in the last segment, a new Eagle for Georgia Southern Softball as Nevaeh Williams signed her national letter of intent a couple of weeks ago for Georgia Southern Softball. As we dive deeper into that story now.
It is my privilege to be able to introduce the newest member of our Eagle softball team, Nevaeh Williams. It's a really inspiring story of how she has survived her stomach cancer. They actually found it evacuating from Hurricane Matthew. Nevaeh's stomach was a little upset, a little bloated, brought her to the doctor, and they found out that she had a really rare stomach cancer.
With her being my daughter, she's taught me so much, and she's motivated me every day to keep pushing because her diagnosis came 4 days after I gave birth. We was dealing with a very serious cancer. You're looking at a child who they said chemo wouldn't work and that there was no cure for her cancer, but today she's in full remission and back doing everything she is.
We're very honored and blessed to be able to adopt her. She's a great little girl. She brings a lot of energy, a lot of passion, lots of personality, so we love that about her. We didn't know she was going to actually be practicing with us. We thought she was coming just to the locker room to get her stuff and everything, but she was ready. She had her helmet, bat, cleats, and we were like, all right, let's do it. She wanted to take VP. Coach let her do that, and I pitched to her. She hit me a couple of times, so she can hit.
If I hit 3 out of 6 in a row, then the whole team gets ice cream sandwiches.
Let's go.
She really surprised me with all the energy she brought the first day. We love her so much already, and we're just lucky to have her.
Are you ready? Anyone that meets her is fortunate, and the minute she walks into a room, the room lights up.
Keep going, keep going. I don't want to ruin this surprise.
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Surprise!
Oh!
Your name tag, jacket, your own shirt.
She's just got that never stop, never quit mentality. She without a doubt gives perspective. I really want our girls understanding that we fight for more than just the game. We fight for more than just the scoreboard. Anytime we can get involved in a young child's life, we should be honored to do so. And I really hope that we just use this opportunity to bring happiness to a young girl who literally every day wakes up fighting a bigger and better cause than any of us ever had to. I'm hoping we just really use this to come together as a team, to come together as a community and as a family to rally around what's really important in life.
Go Eagles! When we return here on Blue White Weekly, we'll catch up with head coach Chad Lunsford just moments after the 48-13 victory over the South Alabama Jaguars.
As you soar above Statesboro, the landscape is changing. There's a rich heritage here. There's something new rising in downtown. Help us expand the legacy of downtown. For business opportunities, visit westdistrictstatesboro.com.
What is Acquire? Acquire is a part of life. It's when you buy a car, a new home, or a fun family vacation. You acquire the things that make living better, like a great education, a beautiful wedding for your daughter, or even a piano for the grandchildren. We are the Q in Acquire, Queensboro, and we're in the business of lending for the joys of living. So when you're ready to acquire, call Q, Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
We are world changers. We learn by doing, and our training prepares us for direct impact in our field. We are scholars. Even as undergrads, we work alongside our faculty to solve challenges facing our region, our state, and our world. We are leaders, experts, working with business and government partners for economic growth. This is Georgia Southern University, and we are the Eagle Nation. We are world changers. We learn by doing, and our training prepares us for direct impact in our field. We are scholars. Even as undergrads, we work alongside our faculty to solve challenges facing our region, our state, and our world. We are leaders, experts, working with business and government partners for economic growth. This is Georgia Southern University, and we are the Eagle Nation.
Blue White Weekly, a weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by International Diamond Center, better selection and value guaranteed. Presented by Ford and your Georgia neighborhood Ford dealers. Ford, go further.
Welcome back into another edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics, as a big win once again for Georgia Southern football, 48-13, and an electric atmosphere at Allen E. Paulson on homecoming.
That's right. Coach Chad Lunsford talks about the power of Paulson Stadium, and it has been electrifying here in the last couple of weeks, and a great win for Georgia Southern this past Saturday.
Russ Brown of the Georgia Southern Sports Network caught up with Coach Lunsford just moments after the game.
For Coach, good win tonight. At the half, you said you wanted to see more points. We saw that in the second half.
Yeah, I thought our guys did a really good job of coming out of halftime. Our coaches did a good job of making adjustments. Our guys did a really good job of taking those adjustments and then coming out there and finishing. In the first half, we wasn't able to put as many points on the board because we hurt ourselves with penalties. And I thought the offense did a really good job of coming out, and the defense did a really good job, especially with 4 takeaways today. That was really good.
I know penalties are something you've talked about, a lot of those. How do you correct that as a head coach? What do you do in practice to try to limit that?
Again, if we see it, we try to make sure that we talk with them about it. Obviously, we're going to coach it up on film and go, hey, this is where you can do better at this. Again, I spent a lot of time talking about pre- and post-snap penalties because those are the ones we can control. Sometimes between the snap and the whistle, that's going to be up to the referee's call and the judgment. Again, once we see them on film, we'll talk about it. We'll say, hey, look, you got to get your hands inside, or you got to do this, you got to do that. But the big piece to that is just making sure that we're coaching it constantly and learning from it and not making the same mistakes moving forward.
Quick turnaround with Texas State on a Thursday night. How will you approach this week with preparation?
Probably celebrate for about an hour and then go to work.
And off to a great start, undefeated in the conference. That's got to feel really good.
It does. Be able to get off to that good start right there and just know that we still got to go one game at a time, win one game a week, and just continue to do that and, just continue to exceed that standard. So we're just going to keep going one game at a time and go from there.
All right. Well, I don't want to make your hour 59 minutes. Take off. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Once again, a big win for Georgia Southern football, 48-13 over the South Alabama Jaguars to improve to 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play. But next thing's next for Georgia Southern football. It's the Texas State Bobcats in San Marcos, nationally televised game on Thursday night, and a lot of other action in other sports as well, Danny.
That's right, Colin. Women's soccer back at Erk Park. They take on Coastal Carolina in a makeup game against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Also, volleyball back in Harrier Fieldhouse. They'll take on Troy in South Alabama, where one of those matches will be live on ESPN+.
Again, you can catch up on all those highlights next week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. That'll do it for us this week. Appreciate you tuning in, and my thanks as always to everybody at the Multimedia Development Center. For Danny Wall, this is Colin Lacey saying so long, everybody.